Alright, welcome back everybody. We're here with game 2. I rotated too many things. This is game 2 of the San Diego Super Open here. In this one we've got Anthony Howard, aka Batmouse, playing Set Your Course for Aldred, taking on Aldred, playing Quiet Mining Colony. Should be an interesting matchup. Going to be a big battle over Bespin, I think. Just to see here. If anybody could let me know if we're back up and running and stuff, that would be great. I did rotate the stream. I don't think it works as well if we rotate it, so I think we're going to do the vertical thing today. Once we get a couple people back in here, I'll see what you guys think if we want to go ahead and rotate it. But I'll show you what it looks like here before we get too into this game. So if we rotate, we get this. We got to put, this like this. Actually, that might be better now that I can see that I can move it. What do you guys think? You like the vertical? You want the horizontal here where I can shrink myself down? I can shrink this down. We can put this up here. We can put this over here. What do we think? Like this one better? Okay. Carl has spoken. I'm still going to be viewing it not this way, so it's going to be interesting. I wonder if I can make this bigger too. Hang on a second. Oh, look at me, learning in real time. Alright, let's get these smaller too. Put that one up there. Put this one in the corner here. We got me in the corner here. How we feeling? That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll live up here. Well, I think QMC is going to live up there. I can bring this to the bottom and this to the top. Alright, much better. Thanks, Jared, for teaching me how to do that. So they're not quite getting started yet. Looks like Anthony is starting Quad Drive Yards Virtual, A Million Voices Crying Out, and Jeremy DePaulo's card, which I forget the name of. Is it an effective demonstration? I think is the right one. And then Cal opting for the alt start here using is it computer interface? It's not computer interface, is it? Maybe it is computer interface. Yeah, computer interface V to start an extra Cloud City site on the table here with the Upper Plaza corridor. This one I can't see what it is. It's entirely possible it's Leia's site. It could be the West Gallery, and this is Bespin, of course. We've got on this side Alderaan, the Death Star, and the Death Star docking bay. So Batmouse here going first. I was able to talk to Joe, who told the players to put their reserve decks and stuff where we could see them. So this might get a little crowded for them, but much better for us. Alright, I'm being told that we will have a lunch break after this game as well. So once this game is done, we'll start our next game at 4:45 Eastern. But we've got this one to play through first. Alright, so Anthony here doing a couple things at once. Looks like he's using 2 to get a system. Had a system in his hand. Gonna play using the Death Star objective to get the War Room, and then a bridge also. I assume he played an Accelerate. He might have just started with that in his hand. There's the Accelerate. Okay. And 2 Force to get the planet. Here comes the Super Laser to the Death Star, which he pulled with A Million Voices Crying Out. Let's see if we can find a better spot for my face. I'm going to put it here for now. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to draw a couple cards here. That's a pretty good first turn, especially finding the bridge, getting an extra system out. He's going to have a lot of generation just from himself, and then Cal is also going to give him a bunch as well, probably. So Cal here using all my urchins. He's going to reveal Harksef and the Overseer, and we get a good look at his entire deck here. Looks pretty standard. I didn't see anything super out of place. QMC is going to have an interesting choice here whether or not to leave Overseer at the system, or if he's going to want to try to flip early, get the docking bay out, and get down and get away from all those Star Destroyers. Anthony pulling a couple shields, has a Grabber shield and Secret Plans shield. Over on the other channel, looks like we've got some team-on-team action. Matt Wadden against Connor Britton. Rescue the Princess versus Walkers. Alright, so Cal with a couple sights in his opening hand. I think that's the Incinerator, which is an interesting choice for QMC, and then also a 2-1. I think that was the West Gallery, and we see Leia's sight there too. Both these players are very fast players, so I'll try not to miss things. Comes down to Overseer with Hark. There is Maz to the Upper Plaza Corridor. Gonna try to use her text, gets Ayla Secura in the hand. Alright, now I am taking up QMC's area. I'm gonna take up this area right here. Be a little smaller. There is one force to go get a site. That's the, what's the name of that site? The North Corridor. So I wonder if that's the docking bay that we can't quite see then. Cal had 2 sites in hand, so that's kind of an unfortunate hand. But it does save him a couple force over the first couple turns of the game. Alright, so it was the West Gallery. So all interior sites on the table. So from top to bottom, or I guess it's not top to bottom. For you, it is from left to right. It's going to be the Upper Plaza Corridor, the Guest Quarters, the Incinerator or Droid Workshop. I'm not sure which one that one is. That's Incinerator. It's Droid Workshop's at Jabba's Palace. The West Gallery, and then the North Corridor. Carl in the chat. So if they can't keep Celebration going, it's kind of a coin flip. I honestly don't know how this goes, right? So both players are going to have an absurd amount of force to work with each turn. So it's entirely possible that Cal could not hold the system, set up on 3 battlegrounds, set up Resistance or Ultimatum, set up Ancient Watering Hole, and start draining for 2 at 5 different sites. Well, I guess 2 at 4 different sites and 1 at the 5th site. And probably make his way over to the Death Star as well. While Anthony is going to end up in space, draining for 2 at a bunch of different places. So it could go that way. It could also, we could also see somebody kicked out of space. I don't think it's going to be Anthony. I think it would be Cal. So Anthony here came down with Stalker, and that's Admiral Mahdi Virtual. Stalker Virtual as well. To that system, which I don't know what it is. Rendili? Could be Rendili. And then just draw a couple cards. Moves his Death Star to Parsec 1. Cal going right into his turn here. Probably pretty happy that that Star Destroyer didn't come down to Bespin, if it were me. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Anthony didn't go to Bespin, right? Because Overseer doesn't draw Destiny. It only adds the Destiny to power. You probably are way more power, especially if you have Mahdi. You could have at least caused some force loss, even if you don't get rid of the Overseer. And if you do somehow get lucky, maybe you draw like one of the Imperial Artilleries you're playing, or one of the other 6s you might play, like a Masterful Move or something. You could have gotten rid of Arc-Seth. Interesting. Bad Mouse playing Death Squadron assignments, I think, to get the Tyrant. That doesn't look like Jedha to me. Jedha's a full slip, right? I don't think it's Jedha. Really, it looks like Corellia, but it's not Corellia. The Dark Jedha. Okay. If it's a black and white slip, I could see it being Jedha. Add the +1 with the super laser. That makes sense. Thanks, Carl. Cal, on his turn, was able to use Maz to find KFC. Jet has Parsec 4, actually, so it is in the right spot. Finds KFC, puts Cal Fal Syndros down to the incinerator. Flips QMC, and then uses the backside of QMC to get a docking bay. Now it's going to go through his force pile, most likely. Grab a card. A lot of interesting cards in there. I wonder if you go with that Hanshui Falcon just to shore up space a little bit. Maybe you grab the path. Checking his hand now to see before he draws something. That would be an interesting choice. I mean, he put Lisa Absurlin on top, so I wonder if he's going to take Lisa up and start trying to cause some direct damage, just to get extra damage in here. I mean, he's got to know, like, both players have to know that this is a race, right? There's Don't Tread on Me, one force to pull an effect. Going to grab Ancient Watering Hole. He's got 2 aliens currently. So there's Kira. Kira's a Corellian, so that's up to 3 aliens. There's that Lisa that he took. That's 4 aliens. And there's Ayla. That makes 5. All at interior sites, so even if Anthony was able to find like a Blizzard 1 and a Veers, he can't do anything there. All single characters, so even if he comes down with something, Cal can just path away. And for the moment, satisfying battle plan. Let's see if Anthony can do anything about that next turn. I don't know that I would have grabbed Lisa. I mean, it's very clear that he needed Lisa for the 5th alien species, right? So like that was his plan. I probably would have tried to shore up space a little more so you don't have to worry about it every turn. I would be worried about it every turn if I were Cal. But here comes Ray, so that also could have been part of the calculus there, right? So you put Ray down, after you deploy everybody, you get a second pull from that force pile, where we talked about there was a couple different things he could pull. So maybe this time he does pull that local defense and grabs the wild card. Lee Sub going to the Upper Plaza corridor to hang out with, not Lee Sub, excuse me, who is that? That's Cal Fowl with Maz at the Upper Plaza corridor. Alright, so Anthony here starting his turn, activating a whole mess of force. Gonna try to blow up Aldred. Gets +1 from a thing, but I don't think that's enough to get it. It might be. I don't think it does. So it looks like it was a 1 for Destiny. You had, what, 3 for Death Star Sights, 1 for Jedha, and 5 for the effect? You don't quite get there? Maybe he did get there. I'm confused. We'll see. Sam, I did not see anything in his hand to protect space. That's not to say he doesn't have it, I just didn't see it. So here comes Battle Plan. Anthony going to pay 3 to drain 4. Okay, so the one did get it. So Aldred was blown up. Cal lost 3 cards, which you can't see. His lost pile is just off screen. And then is going to pay 3 force to drain 4. 3. Because I don't see Ultimatum on the table. Here comes Tyrant. So Tyrant's going to be -3. Right? That's a lot of force for -3. Okay. Also going to retrieve 3 because of a million voices when he deploys the Tyrant. There is I Can't Shake Him. Non-virtual. To deploy a Tractor Beam. Neat. I can't imagine Tractor Beams. What is this, Endor? A million, is it not? It's not called A Million Voices Crying Out. What is that called? Center of the Universe? Let me get I Can't Shake Him first, and then we'll look that card up, what it's called. I Can't Shake Him. During your deploy phase, deploy 1 Starship Weapon or Tractor Beam. There's Krennic. Yeah, Bright Center to the Universe. So that's deployed on Death Star. That's going to cancel all force strain bonuses at Bespin. Alright, so we saw Krennic come down and Anthony battle, but Cal had alternatives to fighting into hand, so he used 3. I also see a Hoojix and a Path. We were speculating on the Path, but he's going to move the Stalker to the Death Star. And the Death Star to Parsec 3 orbiting Nal Hutta. The third card was a barrier? If the third card was a barrier, I probably would have barriered Tyrant, because at that point you don't have enough force to deploy another Star Destroyer and battle. And that way you can save your alternatives for next turn. And now, like, your barrier doesn't work next turn. Cal draining for 1, 2, 3, 4 total at 4 different sites. 4-LOM, Accelerate, Star Destroyer, and Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith go off the top for Anthony. Cal using Maz here to grab Lando with gun into hand, and then keeping the Empire out forever to take any card. Bright Center to the Universe is stopping the drain bonuses. So that's deployed on the Death Star, targeting Bespin, presumably. So I have to read Tractor Beam because real people don't play with Tractor Beams. Alright, so Tractor Beam. Deploy on your Star Destroyer at the end of a battle at the same system or sector. Target an opponent's starship present, except a Mon Calamari Star Cruiser, using 2 force. Draw Destiny. Target captured if Destiny greater than defense value. Alright, so Cal gonna run away. It looks like he's just running away from the Tractor Beams. Carl, you are correct. The objective prevents you from canceling or modifying your drains, but it doesn't make any mention of your drain bonuses. So Bright Center is canceling the bonuses, not affecting the drain in any way. That would be something like Image of the Dark Lord V or ROPS would be protected. Protected against, I guess is the best way to phrase that. Alright, so it looks like Cal just drew some cards. Moved Overseer away. Anthony here activating a whole mess of force. Is going to use the Krennic Death Star Commandant to grab a card off the top of his force pile there. The whole thing gets shuffled? Interesting. Yeah, I don't think it does. Okay. Three force here to drain for 3 at Bespin. 4 at Bespin, right? Oh, Menace Fades is on table. Okay, so it was just a drain of 2. I did not see Menace Fades come out. Down comes P-59 and Kylo Ren with Lightsaber. Those should both deploy -1. Here's a path to move Lee-Sub away from the 2 of them. Anthony looking for something. Didn't find it. We see a couple Star Destroyers in there. I imagine if you're playing Tractor Beams, that doesn't really give you a chance to play some of the other stuff that this Set Your Course deck has played in the past, like the Imperial Artilleries and the laser cannon batteries and stuff. Carl saw a laser cannon battery. Alright. Then maybe you are playing artilleries. Here goes command to grab an admiral or a general. Grabbing Grand Admiral Thrawn. Moving the Tyrant over in front of the Overseer. That's interesting. At some point, he's probably going to want to switch those, right? So he's going to want to have the Stalker in front of the Overseer so that he can use the once per game follow. But Stalker couldn't make it to the Death Star this turn to protect Bright Center. Or excuse me, Tyrant couldn't make it there. And then ends his turn. On Cal's turn, Anthony's going to use Krennic to look at 2 cards. I saw him take the laser cannon battery into hand, so we know he has that now. Cal on his turn using Maz did find an alien, but I didn't see who it was. But it does get an alien into hand. Cal on this turn able to drain for 3 total. Here's another command from Anthony. Probably looking for General Veers. Gonna use his twice per game action to pull the CPI a second time. It's just an easy card to lose. Not gonna blow up any more planets. Yeah, so this game slowed down significantly with the addition of Menace Fades and Bright Center. So now it's going to be, can Cal keep running and keep Menace Fades up? But really, he should just pull Ultimatum. Alright, so we see our answer here. He plays Cloud City Celebration, which means he's going to head back there. Try to take care of that. There is Malos to the Death Star. Cal realizing he forgot to drain, and Anthony letting him drain. So Cloud City Celebration, and then Malos. Reverts some of the time. Early in the day. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk about like the format of this event, but I think it's incredibly interesting. Like, today is going to be way more laid back because it's the first 50%, right? So like in the first 4 games of a normal major, everything's pretty lax. Like, you're not worried about anything. Like, you're just playing games, right? Like, you still don't know if you're going to win, if you're going to lose, if you're out of it already or whatever. So playing 6 games today and 4 games tomorrow, I think tomorrow's going to have a lot more pressure, a lot more games go to time, a lot more just, you know, interesting games because people are going to start trying to do math, especially if, you know, let's say like Joe and Brian Fred might be the 2 front runners for this event. If they play twice today, they can't play again tomorrow. So that makes things really interesting. Here is the worst card in the game. They've shut down the main reactor. So that is use 2 force. If you have a piloted capital starship armed with a starship weapon or equipped with a tractor beam, use 2 force to target an opponent's starship present. Until the end of your next turn, target cannot move, and its pilots may not apply ability towards drawing battle destiny. So that Overseer is not able to move. Hark's not going to be able to add his ability to draw destiny, though he doesn't do that anyway. And that gets grabbed by Cal. So effectively, so it's weird to me, like, they didn't make this like Clash. You can still battle it. That's so weird. Like, obviously Clash, by the time of Special Edition, Clash was already probably a prominent card, right? Like, came out in Cloud City. I can't imagine. I imagine people were playing Clash prior to this. Clash and You Are Beaten. So Decipher had to know how good that card was. And then to make shut down the main reactor where you can still be battled in space, it seems kind of silly to me. Alright, so now that Overseer can't move, Cal's got two things he really needs to do, and one of them is try to protect Cloud City Celebration, and one of them is try to protect Hark. So that's very tough to do. Looks like he's not going to do either this turn. So that Celebration is naked and afraid on Bespin, and Hark is in some trouble. Alright, so Force Drain bonuses are active this turn, which means that drain of the Death Star is drain of 3, right? And the drain of 1 on Cloud City. Or did they take that away? I don't quite know what they did. Yeah, demonstration still gives a light side icon to the Death Star. I think that is Tarkin Doctrine coming down to the Death Star, and then I don't know what character that is. That looks like some kind of Sith character. So, is it Maul? That seems wrong. Is it Asajj? Whoever it is, it got buried. Cal did pull Ultimatum. Okay. Well, that can't be Bat Maul. If it is, that he can't deploy. Oh, no. Okay, he moved over. I missed him moving Malos to the 2-0. Yeah, that makes sense. So Maul, VSET 13, question mark, Maul. With the Bat Mouse AI, naturally. But he was buried. Here is Aura Singh with Blaster Rifle for 4 Force. Yes, thank you, Jared. I did not know I could rotate my entire desktop streaming thing. It's funny, because, like, if I want to, you know, play around on this side and, like, no, it won't come up. Bring up, like, my Windows toolbar. It's going to pop up from somewhere random. Oh, it's not even going to pull up my Windows toolbar, because I'm dumb. Never mind. Ignore me. So here is another path for Ayla away from Aura Singh. There's a second alternatives to fighting when Batmouse tries to fight Hark Zeph. So able to get around that, shut down the main reactor. And then Batmouse moving to Bespin, canceling Celebration. So pretty productive turn for Batmouse that turn. Able to knock another one off the drain that Cal was putting out. Canceling Celebration. Making Cal spend 5 for alternatives. I think somebody went to the docking bay. I can't be sure. I think Lee Sub is missing, so I think Lee Sub is slightly off screen at the docking bay. Letting Cal drain for 1, 1, 1, and 1 at Jedha. Yeah, Lee Sub and Maz are both missing. So. Alright, so Cal deciding what to grab out of his force pile right now. I finally figured out what was written on Batmouse's Death Star. I'm trying to figure that out the entire game so far. So the entire 35 minutes this has been going. Alright, Sam was talking about in range before. I do see that in Batmouse's hand. You get to not only use the... well, you get to... for free. Yeah, okay. So you get to use the tractor beam during battle for free, and add 2 if targeting a unique starship. And even if you miss, target is power and maneuver -3 for remainder of battle. So that's interesting, because I was thinking maybe you, if you're Cal, you can find wild card, and start setting up something to get rid of the Star Destroyer with the tractor beam. But in range kind of poo-poos that plan. Alright, here comes Lando with gun, Rio Durant to the north corridor there, that you can't quite see as the north corridor. Coming down against Aura Singh. Yeah, there's only one site that's off screen right now, James, so we're doing okay. It's just if I'm going to remember what's there. There's Yoxkit also for free. And it looks like we're going to have a battle. So we're going to shoot Aura Singh. I don't think that's what he does. Does he? He can subtract from that? Interesting. I guess it is a blaster. So drew a 4, which would have hit. May add or subtract 1 from a just drawn battle destiny or blaster weapon destiny. Nice. Alright, so it looks like Batmouse drew a 6, so Lando's going lost, but Aura Singh also going lost. Yeah, Carl, I know. I knew it could add to your blaster weapon destiny draws. I didn't know it could subtract from blaster weapon destiny draws. So subtracting from Lando there was pretty big. Didn't look like he shot no, right? But he's got a couple cards in his use pile, so he must have shot and missed. Could have also missed something like an Antilles maneuver, so he couldn't shoot. Alright, so Batmouse here taking his turn. He's going to be able to drain for at least 2, 1, 1. Menace Fades is in effect this turn. So 2 at Bespin, 1 at the Death Star, 1 at the guest quarters. Total of 4. We can't quite see Cal's lost pile, so that's unfortunate. Cal also moved Melas away from Maul to the docking bay. Batmouse using Krennic here. Here is tie sentry ships to retrieve a starship into hand. So pays 3 for the card, pays 1 for aim high, gets back a Star Destroyer. Looks like he has about 13 left, so the player's hashing something out here, I don't know quite what. There is Conquest for 5, I believe, and then 3 more to retrieve 3. Oh, well, okay. I guess they did some math and figured out what was going on. And my guess is Batmouse won that one. Alright. Well, somebody scooped to somebody. I think Cal scooped to Batmouse. Saw that he was getting a ship back and was going to be able to get rid of, or at least like vastly outpower ArcSef. Had nothing in hand to kind of stop that battle from happening. So decided to call it a little early. That's good for me. So that is, let's see. What time is it now? It is 3:23. I think they said they're going to start the game at 4:45 for the next one. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, 4:45 p.m. Eastern, 1:45 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be back with some more games. I think we got 4 more today. I'm going to try to do all 4. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I will see you guys in a little over an hour.